All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of Jewelry Bonney. I'm going to be doing leader testing this week, so look forward to a slew of different leaders this week. But today I'm going to start off with one of my favorites because I've been getting a lot of practice in with it. And it's Red Yellow Jewelry Bonney. This is a preview of the deck list. There will be a full breakdown at the end of the video, as well as a copy of the deck list in the description below if you guys want to copy and paste it. The Discord link is in the description below. I got it fixed. Thank you guys for pointing out that that was not operating. I appreciate it greatly. Let's see, what else? I fixed my sleeves on my card backs. Thank you to the subscriber that told me that I had misspelled my own name. That was a little embarrassing. Whoops! But it's all fixed now. It's a brand new week. That's ancient history. If you do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe, I appreciate it. Man, we are cooking this week. We're like 440? That's insane. We might actually hit 500 here after not too long, which would be super cool. But more important than subscribers is always comments. I want to hear from you guys. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? Do you guys want to see the OP17 leaders, even though there's like no support out for them yet? What do you want to see? I'm trying to make a better show for you guys. And you know how you get a better show? You guys tell me what you want and I will implement it. Trust me, everything you see here is because people have asked for it. By request, here's Red Yellow Jewelry Bonney. I think that's all I got, though, so let's jump into some games. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of One Piece. Our opponent chose to go second. That's an interesting choice. Odd Dawn Curve. I'm not doing too bad. I wish I'd found a searcher, but I guess I keep this and say, go ahead. Playing Red Yellow Jewelry Bonney, and I decided to go against an RG just to start with, because I know I won't have to read much of their cards. And I'm fairly comfortable with this deck, but not super in the know. I'll see if they want to give me 2 cards, because they didn't leave a Dawn up, so we'll see if we can get them to give me stuff. I didn't think they would. Which is good, because that means next turn I can play Jewelry Bonney and burn them. Let's see what they have for 4. Just an Usopp. That's not going to be good for them. I don't have anything I want to give up as counter, so I'm going to take it. We'll deploy this. Give this. Opponent will take a life, and then we'll attack in again. They don't have a Dawn underneath leader, so the leader ability is off. They just need to give me a 2K. And an 8-card hand, I'd hope they'd have at least 1 2K. Yep. If I double Searcher, I'm likely to just play the Ben Beckman next turn. And then I'm going to have to decide what I want to deal with. Okay, so there's 4 off that. 1 underneath leader. I feel like it'd be smart to attack for 7 here if I was them. But lucky for them, I don't have a 2K, so I'll take it either way. Deals and draws an Usopp. I think I'll just use leader ability, minus this down, trash it out, and attack. I'm not gonna be able to do any damage, of course. Oh, 7. Okay, there's my first 2K. So 5 and 6 doesn't do me any good, and I have nothing to play off of this. There's no reason for me to play it. So we're just gonna minus this down, and we're gonna say don't take a life. And then we're just going to play this, trash him out. We don't need him. And then we'll just pass it over. Be on 9 next turn, and I expect to play at least 2 of these, and we'll see what we find. He's not going to likely have anything that'll get this high enough. Okay, does he have double Sanji here? No. Sanji into Usopp, 1 underneath leader. I could see that. No blocker. We'll give him a 1K. No blocker. And I'm going to give him a 2K here, I think. Just because I know he's got a 7,000 power unit, so I want some of these other things to swing first. The good news is for him, he gets 5 Dawn up with this combination of guys. He's got 2 Dawn up, so this doesn't actually do much. I can go like this, though. I could minus this all the way down, and I could play board control a little bit. I kind of want to develop a big guy here. But I can't play this yet because I did defend my life. I could get this out, be a 7k, go up to 9. Is that good enough? I don't know. I kind of want to get my searching done this turn. Okay, so we'll take this so we could be a larger unit for a while. And then we'll play this. I'm going to take a Sentomaru here. All right. And then I still have some pretty good options here. I'd like to develop the Sentomaru here. And I'd like to do this, because it's good enough if I can get this way down there. Because let's see, I get this thing down to 1k. I can do that and say don't take a life. I could have taken a life, I suppose, and then played this anyways, but like I'd have been better off not giving him cards at that point. I want to develop this turn. Let's do this. We'll drop this way down there. So now it's a measly 1k. We'll do this at it. Hopefully he just doesn't defend, given that I've got all this. But worst case, I will turn this sideways to go after it. I can go 7. That's 2 Dawn. And then I could go... I got 4 left after that and go 10. 7 gets me 2, and 10 gets me nothing. So I'd have to commit everything and no Sentomaru. I get another Nami out, but that doesn't do me a lot of good. I think I'm better off just getting a Sentomaru out. And then I'll just pass. I'm just not turning these sideways because I don't need him getting frozen by something like Luna. I'll see what he develops this turn. My hand is all bricks with the exception of a single 1k. I can block at any point and draw off of this. Alright, there's the Zoro. Okay, so now when he turns these sideways, he's going to have to do some magic here. Use that trigger, draw some cards. It's mostly bricks, though. I could do both of these next turn. That might not be a bad combination. I'd love to do some searching, get another little body on the field. Let's see, that's 7. He's got 2 Dawn underneath it. Let's go no blocker. We'll give him this Nami we don't need anymore. 9, and we will just block and get us a card here. Okay, that Zoro's looking pretty tasty this turn. So we'll minus that down to a nice 4k. We'll develop this guy here. Give our leader a nice buff. Activate, gain some rush. So he's a 4k now. So if I swing... I'd love to go pretty hard at him here. Let's see. I don't have a lot of counter. 7 is 1. I can't actually do anything here, so let's just get character rush. Let's just attack there. You're going to lose that, but I can make you fight some Dawn over it. Nope, loses it immediately. We like that. I think I do just play this here because I do want to just get some cards. That doesn't do me any good here. Let's see. It has to be Egghead specifically. So I think the Borsa's the best get here. Do that. Return those. I could attack for 7. Let's poke his leader a little bit. He'll just give me a Dawn. Do I attack this in the hopes that he tries to remove it? No, that's bad. So we'll just get ourselves back up to 9k. Everything in my hand is a brick, though, which is really unfortunate. But most Luffy aren't aggressive enough to commit all in. Because, like, just to swing with this, he has to put 4 Dawn on there and then another 2 Dawn here. All right, it turns those sideways. That's not super surprising. I hope he spends some resources going into here, but he watched me search the Borsalino, so I doubt he swings at this. I would expect a Luna freeze here. I can give this up if he doesn't put anything there. But I mean, even if he hits me, I guess I could just do this. Yeah, but no, he's more likely to go there. I can't actually save it. We'll let it go. Because we have no choice. They did Luna. Yeah, what are you going to swing at with that? Go here? Go ahead. I want you to kill that. Yeah, he says, no, I will not be doing that. Now what do we do? I need to get a blocker up. Oh, red-green Luffy, how we love you. I'd like to have played this, but I have not seen that. I'd love to do this and trash this guy, but that doesn't win me the game. I think I have to go Borsalino here. That leaves me 5 Dawn, unfortunately. Everything in my hand is a single play. Would I rather have some aggression or get a life up? I'll be a 7k. 7's not very good when I'm facing down a 7 and a 9. So I think we just do this. 9 here does nothing. I've got nothing else here, and so I think I will just pass, go up to 9k. Force him to think maybe I've got some events in hand. I got 3k counter in hand, which is okay, but not the greatest. These 9s will be really useful if they survive. If he's got another Nami, he's in a really good spot. Oof, he could kill me if he stacks everything, but I don't think he'll do that. Oh, it's Zoro down. You're not threatening that. Because you've actually only got... If he doesn't kill me, this isn't going to go real well for him. 9 at something. This is the least helpful thing I have in my hand. Yeah, like, you can't actually commit very hard into anything here. Like, your 7 can swing here. You have to put 1 underneath leader. That can't hit anything but the Nami you know I want you to hit. Thank you. I'm gonna swing 7 at me, too. No and no. Trash the book out, re-swing at one of these? Like, that's not a good play either. Alright, 2 Dawn up is actually not very much. I could go Jewelry Bonney, burn a life. And then I got, what? Like a 5... I could go 5, 5, 7, 9, 9, 10. That seems pretty reasonable. 5, 5. Those are probably just counters out of hand. 7 will force probably a Dawn and a card. The 9 9s are what are going to give him the business. I think this is probably the best bet I have here. Let's do this. 5. Okay, I get an early Charleston on a 5K. Nine. So this changes things. I might have to be a big leader again. Okay, he gives me the blocker early. Like 9. Okay, he takes it. So now here's my question. If I go 7, I can rip this last life. I could go 6 and 11 even. 11's a bad number for him. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It'd have to be like a 2 and a 1 plus another 2K. Or I can go big and be big again and try and kill this. I have to decide here. I've got no counter in hand, though, if he goes for it, and he knows this is a brick. So I think this is probably better. Let's do this. Let's go 11 here. 11's a good number because I don't want to give him a chance at Charleston if I swing 6. Because there's 9. 11, 12. Does he have another 2K? RGs don't have a lot of 2Ks. GG! Ha-ha! Got him! GG, well played. That was pretty solid play overall from RG there. Ooh, baby 5 trigger. Oh, there's my You'll Frighten Me on top. I wouldn't have done anything. 2K though. Could have got me another 2K. My next card is a Saba Luffy. So that was really hard just because all of these were options there. This could have got me down to a 9 here. I could have dropped this down to like a 6, swung 9 at it. That could have caused him a bunch of dawn. I could have been up again. But knowing I didn't have any counter, I would have had to take the first 5 E-swing or 7 E-swings because that would have been big. And the first 7, if I just take that tells him a lot. So he also had to give me a Nami for counter and another Brook. So the Brook was probably his play there. Double Brook would have absolutely killed us because if he'd stayed alive that turn, he just plays the Brook, puts 4 dawn on this, swings at me for 11, pops a Brook, he'll swing like 5, 6, 7 at me, and then he'll also swing 11 3 times with 2 Brooks. So I absolutely had to kill him there. He would have definitely got me on the crackback. And he did the really smart thing of Charleston out of the first hit because he had to in order to make sure he survived long enough for all these bigger attacks. So we played that one really tight. That was a good game. Well played, RG. All right, let me know what you guys think. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? That was game 1 with red, yellow, Jory Bonney. I do love this deck. It is such a fun deck. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another round of One Piece. Let's see. Is this a good hand? Not really. I like it. That's a way better hand. All right. We'll take probably the Luffy here. Turn everything else and pass. All right, back at it. They got a Nico Robin. I don't much care about that. We're going to attack for 5. He gives me the Yamato. He probably wants it in trash. We're going to play this out. I think this is probably my pick here. Get those up to the top. Maybe we'll put a 2K there just in case we find something that'll trigger us out. So next turn is a 5, 6, and a burn. Yeah, I'll take a 9K. I don't have anything that has a trigger, so I will not do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'll be honest, I kind of hope they defend for a while, because I'll burn cards out, and I'll be able to play all of these eventually. Cool. I'm going to do that for the next, like, 3 turns in a row. This Yamato is playing very defensively. This is the turn where they play 5 and swing 8 at me. They're going to swing 8 here. I don't imagine they go after my life. They can if they want, but I don't really care. Oh, wow. He is just going after life, sure. Five. Six. Keep dumping your hand. I'm tempted to play this, but I think I want to get the Namis on board, and I'm not super worried about dying next turn. Like, I've got so many defensive events that I'm just going to keep pushing. All right, they're down to 2. Let's see what they do now. I can even do this. Like, my board is super annoying for you. Yeah, they can do that. Reveal and draw. I've come here to cut those chains. +3 to the leader, or they can trash 5 from the top of their deck and play 1 land of 1 type character that costs 6 or less from the trash. Nope. I'm going to give them the Nami there just to force a real attack if they want to clear some characters. I'm sitting on multiple Borsalino. Yep, there she is. Mm-hmm. These only defend the leader, so I can't do anything there. I could give up a Borsalino, but do I want to give up a Borsalino? Kind of. Nah, we'll let it go. The good news is he doesn't want to hit the Namis, so I'm just going to keep swinging Namis at him, I guess. See if they put out a Yamato I can put some pressure into. Okay, so that one I can attack, which is nice, because now I can go this, attack this one. Another Borsalino. That's so funny. 6? Let's see. This was for 7. I want 2 up, honestly, for the events to make sure just that I don't die. So we'll go 6 again. Okay, so they're giving me 1Ks, which is really bad for them, because now I can go activate, gain character rush, punch here. I don't think they'll be honestly able to save that. And then I'll be able to go 7 at their leader. They have massively over-countered. They do not want to hit those Namis because I have an army of Borsalino just waiting for it to take their place. I'd love to heal and gain a blocker if they'll let me. And they're in a really bad spot now because I am a 9K leader and I have got all kinds of nonsense for them. I'll give up a Borsalino here. This is not going to swing at me, clearly. Best they could do is maybe 2 more swings, and like they're so counter light right now. I have not seen them give the event up yet. So here's the play where they get out the blocker. Yep, that won't be swinging at me. Yep. Eights are going to be a really bad number for them because that's both an event and a card next turn. I love having a You'll Frighten Me on top of it. I'm a 9 as well. Oh, what do we do here? No. I'll give up a Borsalino. Well, that's funny. Eight. Their event is a +3 event, which is why 8s are so bad for them. Well, now they just lose. Bang. Never go to 0, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bad idea. GG. You do not want to go to 0 if I am sitting with Straw Hat characters. That would have been pretty good, too. The way they should have done that is counter whatever they could counter, block before ever taking that last life. I cannot tell you how many people I have baited with this Sanji being unblockable. Making my guys unblockable is just insane. I was actually planning on going like 8-8 there by putting Ford on here and just seeing how they responded. And if I needed to play the Borsalino and leave 1 Dawn up for a You'll Frighten Me to get out of one of these and have 2 life and a blocker, I honestly think that would have got me out of everything else. So I think we'd have been fine there. This has unblockable, so as long as I got out of... I'd probably just take one of these, use the You'll Frighten Me to stop the other one, and then I would just be fine after that. But I honestly think killing them there... I think I could kill them no matter what they had in hand. So I don't know. You guys tell me. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? I'll see if I can find one more leader to abuse. I love playing this deck. All right, I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of One Piece. This doesn't have any of my 3-5, but my other curves are pretty decent. Do we keep this? Sure, why not? Get our hands sorted up there. Going against Teach, just because I've noticed you guys have a sick fascination with me just beating up poor Marshall D. Teach. Find a Doc Q. I don't think I'm going to have a lot to do, so I think if he doesn't get a 1-cost out, which it doesn't look like he is, I'm going to be punching 8 at lead. Nah, probably not even that much. Probably just go 7. You guys know that I like to punch 7s more than 8s. Ho, 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 ho. Well, let's see what we can get out of him. I'm always just daring my opponent to give me 2 cards. Next turn, we'll be doing the same thing. Ooh. They find a Burgess. They get a Luffy out. I'm going to have to punch. It's alright. We'll burn them out. They're on 4 next turn. 6. I'd like them to heal back up to 3. Second Nami. I do have a good 2k here. I do not have a good trigger for that, so that's fine. Do I defend this? I think I will defend it. I don't need to go that low that fast. That's pretty good. Let's see if he redirects this. I want to punch before I burn, just in case he does that. See, I thought he might do this. Redirects me somewhere. Into this. That's not bad for me to have. We'll get the life out of him. Just wanted to give him less options prior to the burn. There's no reason not to. Now, let's see what they do. 6 should just be the Shiryu. But I did notice they trashed one, so they do have another one. So this will be just fine. I just need to keep this Nami, and I'll be good. So what do I want to give out for counter? I do want to keep... They're going to be at 8 next turn. That should just be the big guy. I think I'm going to give... Yeah, I'm going to give this up because my next turn is going to be these 2. Oh, that's a really good hit too. You don't need to trigger that. I don't want you to trigger that. 6. Oh, I almost guarantee. Let's see. Oh, what does he do here? He could just give me a 2k if he's got one. No 2k. Gets him down to 1. Now my question, what do I develop here? I think I want to develop the Searcher so I can poke this more than I want to develop this, because I can do this and this next turn on 9 and still be in a fine spot. So let's do this. If I take a Borsalino, what does that do for me? It'll tell him that punching the Nami is just a bad idea. That's probably fine to go back just like that. I like having a blocker. And I think that will be just fine for me. Now, he should attack with this first. I could do the You'll Frighten Me into this. Okay, so he does the dumb thing. Does the worst thing he could do. You watched me pick it up. You knew I had it. And I reveal a baby 5, which is an awesome trigger to have. And look, we draw a baby 5. All right, now what do we do? The bad news now is if I turn this sideways, they can't actually hit it. 7, 8, 9. I don't need this guy this turn because of all the different things I have. So we pressure, I guess? I'm going to attack here, because even if they redirect into this one, it's 2 cards. They lose the Shiryu. Bummer. Okay, so attaching this Dawn does nothing, because at best I'll get redirected into this. So I will keep this Dawn up, because I've got 2 defensive events. This one's just a 2k, because I'm not down to 1 life. But I may end up using this. But this should be 10 cost, the 10 blocker. Okay. Oh, I would have been another baby 5. That would have been so good for me. Problem is if he goes 10 here, what do I do? So this can't attack. I need to do some drawing. So I think this will actually work out in my favor. We'll go no blocker. Do this. Say this can't attack, and then I'll give him a baby 5. And that will handily take care of that. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, I can't take jewelry, Bonney. I want this so badly. Wanted that so badly. Alright, let's see this thing. So you're gonna have to redirect me to here. Can I kill him this turn? No. But we can stress him out. 7/7. Problem is if I attack with this, it's sideways and he just kills it next turn and I lose some of my juice. So I think I just do this. Say, I'll see you next turn, buddy. I don't have anything great to play off of this. Like, at best, I could play this out. Maybe even play the baby 5. Okay, okay. 3 of these? Really? Nullifies my leader ability, which is unfortunate. And he burned me out again. I think I'm in trouble. I need a way to burn that last life out. That rush Bonney would have been so good. Man is just pulling bricks to his hand. That sounds like a bad idea, dude. Yeah, this is gonna die. There's nothing I can do about this. That is such a bad idea. Because now you can't swing anywhere. You wouldn't do that. There's no way. Oh my gosh. Well, if you're gonna be dumb... I'm gonna kill you. I know 2 of these are bricks. Oh, man. All right. So I can't attack with this. But I know 2 of those are bricks. Which means any 7 I swing is gonna be lethal. I mean, a 9/9 just guarantees, because I know they're all bricks. You can redirect. I'm going to kill you. You made a massive play mistake. Death. GG, buddy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had options aplenty. It got kind of dicey there, but they made it... I don't know why you would ever attack that Nami after I'd taken the life. That was the wrong play order. But I think they might have been afraid of the You'll Frighten Me, because I did him the first round, so I guess maybe? Nah, you should always have swung into that. That was a straight-up play mistake. Bonney not being able to search Bonney is a tragedy, but other than that, the deck went really well. What do you guys think? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? We won there. We take out Teach. I've never tried this matchup before. It's not the worst. I don't like that they can turn my leader ability off because it makes us less defensive, but my army of Borsellino had something to say about that. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later! All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was some Red Yellow Jewelry Bonney. I love Red Yellow Jewelry Bonney. It's such a cool deck. I did misplay once there against the Teach player. Let's be honest, I probably misplayed a bunch of times. I forgot to use leader ability when I was swinging my Zoro at their Shiryu. I should have minused it before I did the swing, but I didn't think about it. So, note to self, I always forget about that one on the sim for some reason. But other than that, went pretty well. Let me just you guys think. All right, we're going to do a quick breakdown of what's in the deck. I'm not going to read every line of text, but we'll do a brief summary. Then we'll go over deck choices, and then we will go over the general strategy and why I built it the way I did. All right, let's get to it. I'll read the leader in its entirety because it is the most important card, but after that, we're going to just speed run it. Opponent's turn, if you have one or less life card, this leader gains plus 2,000 power. This means she's a 7k leader as soon as she hits one or less life. And activate main, once per turn, give to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. Then if you have 2 or more life cards, you may add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. So you are not able to be starved. Nobody can starve this deck, which is really useful. All right. We got 4 copies of Jewelry Bonney. It's a 1/2/1 searcher. We're looking at the top 4 for Egghead or Straw Hat Crew type. Very important. That's most of the deck. We got 4 copies of Ace Sabo Luffy. It's a 1/1/2k. Activate main. You can trash this guy, give an active Dawn. So it plays basically for 2 and give minus 3k to one of our opponent's characters, which is really good for the power manipulation because we do have some trash effects and it comes up a lot. We got 4 copies of the 2/3/2k Sanji, making our Straw Hat Crew unblockable as long as they have 6,000 power or more. 4 copies of Zoro. It's a 7/9 brick because he gives our leader plus 2,000 power, which makes us a 9k leader if we got 1 or less life. And once per turn, if our opponent has a character with 8,000 power or more, this guy gets Character Rush. I'm running 3 copies of Ben Beckman, a 7/7/1k on play. Trash up to one of our opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. And then I got 1 copy of the 10-cost Gold D. Roger. He's got Rush, and if me or my opponent has 0 life, they activate Blocker, we win the game. Sentomaro, a 2/1/1 blocker. On play, or on block, if you have 2 or less life cards, draw a card. Very good cycle, and he can play with our Zoros very nicely, so we like him a lot. I'm running 2 copies of Lilith. It's a good early game card. It's a 3/5 searching, looking at the top 5 for Egghead other than Lilith. The trigger does not matter because we are not Vegapunk. We got 4 copies of Baby 5. It's just a classic yellow trigger. 4/5/2k. Draw 2 cards with the trigger. Nami, absolute all-star in this deck. A 5/6/1. Give 1 Rested Dawn to our leader, and if our opponent has 3 or more life cards, burn that life to the top of their hand. On KO, you can also turn a card from our life face up and play a character with 6,000 power or less, which is a bulk of our targets in this deck, actually, which is very nice. But of course, the best target off that effect is always Borsalino, a 5/6/1k blocker. On play, you may, if you have 2 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Being able to go Nami into Borsalino, if you guys watch the matches, it is just kind of broken because it gets that on-play heal and develops a blocker. I run 1 copy of Bartholomew Kuma. It's a 7/7/1. It's just for some extra heal. As we have 2 or less life cards, we have to add the top of our deck to the top of our life. And on KO, it does the same, add up to 1 card from the top of our opponent's life cards to their hand, so it burns them. So they don't like removing it. I wish there was a good way to cheat this guy out, but so far there's not. But sometimes, if you see me countering a little heavier, if he's in my hand, I do just want to get some heals, and he's a good statted body that they don't want to hit. And then, of course, Jewelry Bonney, a 9/10 on play. This character gets a rush, and our opponent will add the top card of their life to their hand, regardless of what number they're at. So we can take them from 1 to 0, and then punch for 10. Trigger, if you have 1 or less life cards, rest up to one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. Not a bad trigger. I'm running, I believe, 3 copies of Monkey D. Luffy. It's a 10/12. If you have 1 or less life cards, this guy gets -1 cost in your hand. And on play, you can trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader gains plus 2,000 power at the end of our opponent's next turn. And then this guy gets Blocker until the end of our opponent's next turn. I run 3 of him and 4 of the Zoro because the Zoro is strictly better, in my opinion. Being able to be a 9k leader means I really don't need a blocker unless they have a 12k on board, in which case I have to block and counter anyways. So I don't like having to ditch a card to turn this guy into a blocker. It's just not very good. I like it, but it's just kind of that middling effect. If I have Zoro in my hand, it's always my preferred. Distorted Future is a 1-cost event. It gives our leader plus 3k, and if you have 2 or less life cards, we can go minus 3k to one of our opponent's characters for the turn. It's very good to get them down. I like this as another power manipulation. And then, of course, we've got 2 You'll Frighten Me. It's a 1-cost event. If I have 2 or less life cards, up to one of our opponent's active characters cannot attack during this turn. You saw me use it there to get out of a couple of sticky situations. It's not like a must in the deck. I just like it because people don't expect it, and it's very useful. Trigger, play up to 1 character with 6,000 power or less and a trigger from our hand. The only ones that really this lets us do is the Lilith and the Baby 5. But that's kind of good enough. I don't need more than that most of the time. Trigger doesn't come up a ton, but if I can trigger it into a Lilith, it's really useful. And then I got 2 copies of Raw Heat Strike, a 1-cost event. Up to one of our leader or character cards gains plus 2,000 power. Then if we have 1 or less life cards, give up to one of our opponent's leaders or characters minus 2,000 power during the turn. So it's a pretty decent counter because it can counter for plus 2k to us and minus 2k to a different attacker, allowing us to kind of mitigate 2 attacks if we're nice, or if they are swinging really big at us, we can just get out of that 1 swing with a 4k. It's got a trigger, draw 1 card as well, which does come up. All right, so there's the deck list. It's a very interesting deck list. There's just a lot of stuff that could be 4 ofs and 2 ofs and 3 ofs that I chose to run at very odd things. So let's go over that. In this deck, I kind of prefer to go first just because I want to start punching, and I think my odd curve is really strong. I don't see a reason to go second. I get that I want to get to the 10-cost Luffy as fast as I can, but I like being able to hit, so I want to go first just so I get that swing in, honestly. On 1, we're going to want to play this Jewelry Bonney. On 3, I'd like to play the Lilith. If I don't have the Lilith, Sentomaru is always an option. He'll just kind of stick around until we need him to. On 5, Nami is my preferred. Burn them out, give a Leshodon a leader, attack for 6, get that extra card out. And we love multiple Namis in this deck. 5 life leaders, beware. Nami is just everywhere. And if we can go this and find this, that's kind of what I like doing. I've considered putting Straw Hat Searchers in the deck as well, but I just can't justify it right now because I do want to find stuff like this and this. I'd like to find some more Namis, but I just can't justify it yet. And I don't have enough triggers in here to play the Lilith Searchers, so for right now it is what it is. Lilith is kind of the best I got right now. She's been a pretty good 3 of. I have considered bumping her up, but I like everything else kind of where it's at. On 7 Dawn is kind of where I start playing defense, although if I can get another Nami out with like a Sentomaru or a Searcher, any of that's fine, just adding Dawn up to go aggressive. If I have it, the Kuma's also not a bad play on 7. On 9, I really do just want to start playing defense. That's when I want to start training the Zoros. But I will say, I tend to play this deck a little more defensively than I do than my aggressive style with RG. If you can guard your life, like I get that people want to just take hits up until they get to 1 life and then start playing defense, because it's so much harder to hit a 7k leader or a 9k leader. But if you can defend yourself, if you can develop this Rush Bonney as your first 9 Dawn play, if you've played like a Nami prior to that and they've taken a hit, they're going to be like 1 life if you develop this. They might even go to 0, which makes them play way more defensively than they want to. Because if you can, and Lord forbid if you get 2 of these in your hand, whoof, they are not going to be your friend. On your first 10 Dawn turn, if you don't have Zoro, I will drop the Luffy. Having a 12k body is just never really a bad thing. Becoming 9k, dropping a 12k blocker, you do have to ditch a card, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I like leaving 1 Dawn up because I've got so many options for my 1 Dawn. You can search, you can play the You'll Frighten Me, you can do the Raw Heat Strike. Nobody ever expects you to be playing You'll Frighten Me in here. Maybe because it's bad, but personally, I think it's such a good surprise tool that, you guys, I like surprise decks. Or I like utility decks. I love decks that are toolboxy. So let me know what you guys think about that one. On the odd dawn, or on the even dawn curve, it's pretty much the same stuff. It's going to be Jewelry Bonney or a Sentomaru on 2. On 4, it's going to be the Lilith. That's my best one I can play, where it's going to be a Sentomaro and just attack for 7. On 6, Nami. On 8, it's going to be Nami or a Kuma, or even a Ben Beckman. I did kind of skip that on the other on my odd curve. On 7, Ben Beckman's not a bad option, but he's also a really good 9 play if you need to manipulate power, because our leader can just do the minus 1,000 power to hit 7,000s, which is pretty good for us because we can kind of play control there. We can also go and do this on our 9 Dawn turn and drop him by 3k, drop him by another 1, so you can drop 4k. So you can get a 10k body off the board with Beckman if you want to, which is pretty darn solid. But I don't know. You guys tell me. If I was going to mess with this deck, I would go down probably You'll Frighten Me, up one of these, up one of these. I just don't know where I'd make the cuts, because the deck's pretty tight as it is. That's why the ratios are a little odd. But you guys tell me, what do you think is best? The reason I don't like defensive events a ton is because this being a 9 cost means I can only play 1 defensive event when I develop these. So that's kind of why I see that. All right, back to the Even Dawn curve. 8, Ben Beckman's not bad. 10, I would want to probably go Zoro because we're probably going to need some defense. And I will always go Zoro as many times as I can before I hit this. Because I like getting these guys out and playing aggro against their board. The exception is if none of their board is turned sideways, that this has a reasonable chance of removing, I will play this instead and wait to hold this to when I can attack with it. So, like, you just saw me play against Teach there, and because the Shiryu was sideways and I knew his hand was so low, being able to go 10 at his 8 was really helpful there. So let me know what you guys think. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? I like this deck list, and it's so flexible. The core of the deck, people keep asking me about the core. I like this right here is a core of the deck. You need Ace, you need Jewelry Bonney, you need Baby 5, Nami, Borsalino. You have to have Roanoa Zoro in there. Beckman is kind of a personal choice of mine. You need 1 Roger, 2 is negotiable. You need to have Sentomaro because Sentomaro plays so well with this Zoro. So your flex spots are like right here and right here. You could cut. So here, I can just remove stuff so you guys can see. I would say even this is kind of negotiable if you don't want to go power down route. I'd say this is the core of your deck. You want this kind of setup because these cards are just so strong for Jewelry Bonney. You can get the yellow Luffy in here. If you want to try and fit this guy in here, you totally can. He's not a bad aggro option. But he is not playable off the Nami, because he's got 7,000, not 6. So he's just kind of okay. And as soon as you drop him on board, people are going to be trying to remove him. I guarantee it. So he's just kind of a worst version of our 9-cost Bonney. If you really like that rush super aggro style, I would go up in these. Let me know what you guys think, though. There's a ton of ways to build this deck, so don't take any of this as gospel. You can build whatever you want, and then you can build it in any style you want. So let me know what you guys think. All right, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep killing it out there. Later.